Hey guys. So, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, the first season of that didn't do too well. People, of course, were circle jerking the damn thing because, you know, that's what show media does. But then when it came to stuff like the Golden Globes, it wasn't up for any nominations, yet, House of the Dragon was. So, not as good of a show as people thought. So, season two, because this worked so well the first time, Amazon executive Vernon Sanders doubles down on diversifying Middle Earth for Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power Season 2. Because it worked so well the first time. Do these people not understand that no one gives a flying fuck about your fucking diversity? Just give us Lord of the Rings. We don't care about your fucking diversity. Go the fuck to hell with your stupid fucking representation. It's not meant to represent the world we're living in today. It is Middle Earth, a made-up world made by J.R.R. Tolkien. If you're not going to tell the story and represent the world that he created, fuck off. The first season was a fucking shit show. Again, they say, oh, we're not going to change the lore, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that, and then everything they said they weren't going to do, they did. So now we have, and of course, they look like the kinds of people who would worry about that shit. Let's see. The series continues to be cast from all around the world. We think that represents the show that we created in season 1. And we're going to do the same thing for season 2. We are trying to find the best act. No, that's not what you're trying to find. We've already announced that there will be some characters from the lore. I don't think we've announced all of them, so there are some surprises to come. Oh boy, I can't wait to meet transgender Gandalf. I think the fans will be really delighted, he asserted. Are you sure about that? No one seemed to have anything good to say about the show apart from it looked nice. If you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, they fucked up the lore. If you are a fan of, fantasy genre type things where, you want to just escape to a world that's not like our own, well, they fucked up there because they're forcing their fucking idea, politics in there. Well, because we want this Middle Earth to represent the world now. So there's going to be Asians and blacks and this and that. Well, that's not how it was in Lord of the Rings. That's not how J.R.R. Tolkien wrote it. So how about instead of making a quick buck and fucking things up to try to appeal to the 0.5% of the demographic, why don't you just stick to the source material? Is it really, are they so incapable of just sticking to the source material? Because every time greedy fucking corporate people like that get their nasty little hands all over a beloved IP, they just fucking dirty that shit up. They don't give a shit about, I mean, look, Halo, they did the same fucking thing with that. The Witcher, they're going to be doing the same thing with that. Lord of the Rings, they did the same shit with that. Doctor Who's been going the same fucking way. Every fucking time, they dirty little hands all over, they just fuck it up. People who have no interest in the lore or the fans, no, they just want to put their selves and their fucking bullshit into these stories. Again, it's based on Second Age, which really wasn't talked about for the most part. And we have a chance to see it, on screen. And they're fucking it up. They've turned the Numenorians into little fucking pansies. They turned Guy Ladriel into the fucking, oh my god, she's a strong woman of power, and oh, she's so fierce. But then she's like fucking, like all over Halbrand and fucking shit like that. It's I mean, how hard is it to just stick to the source material? And again, we're going to see the diversity and the representation and all that other bullshit that no one cares about in a fucking Lord of the Rings series. And then they're like, what? It failed again? Ugh, those fucking racists, those misogynists, those fucking homophobes. No. Maybe, and I'm just spitballing here to see what sticks. Maybe you should listen to the fans. The actual fans, not the 0.5% who say they're fans and they just want everything to represent them. Again, I've said before in numerous videos, Lord of the Rings is already diverse. It is already inclusive. The story has been translated into almost every fucking language. Being black or Hispanic or native or whatever, it doesn't prevent you from reading it. It doesn't prevent you from enjoying the world that Tolkien has created. It is already a very well diverse, representative story. You don't have to be a specific color to enjoy it. So where are these people getting off on like, more accessible and representative of if you know how to fucking read, you have access to the book. As simple as that. No matter what fucking country you're in, if you can read, you have access to Lord of the Rings and you can read it. That's already in fucking inclusive. But they're doubling down on this fucking diversifying, and people are fucking sick of it. So once again, when this shit fails, they're gonna blame people, say, "Oh, the misogynists, oh, the racists," blah, 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 blah. Instead of looking at themselves. Are we the baddies? Yes, yes, you are. You are the fucking baddies because you idiots just fail to just learn. Instead, you just want to keep doing it. I understand that phrase, if it's not broken, don't fix it, but it's clearly broken. Just add a little super glue on that. That'll fix it right up. You guys clearly don't get that. No one gives a flying fuck about the diversity except for those weird fucking idiots on Twitter. No one else cares about it, and you're catering to that small percentage and then pissing off the 98% of the other fucking fans. And that's why your show isn't doing too well. Because you're pissing everyone else off to placate and cater to this tiny, minuscule amount of fucking people. I mean, we just saw today about the fucking Witcher, Blood Origin. Why should we watch it? Oh, it's got two guys kissing. It's got kissing of two guys. It's got deaf people in sign language. Okay, so representation, diversity. Oh boy. Keep coming with it. Give me a reason to want to watch it. But they don't fucking learn. They don't fucking learn. And the people double down, not watching their garbage. Diversity is their shield. There's no pressure for them to write a decent show when they can cast off all criticism as bigotry. Exactly. This is all something we know. This is a constant factor in this kind of this problem. They can write the most horrible fucking story, but if you decide to criticize it, they're gonna call you a racist. They're gonna call you a homophobe. They're gonna call you a bigot. This and that, because they know that everyone else is gonna be on their fucking side. All the big head honchos of the freaking of social media and all the fucking people in Hollywood, they're all going to come to their defense, because who are we compared to them? We're just some people online. They're the ones with the money and the power and this and that. And so who are we to them? But they're always going to, it's a shield. Instead of accepting criticism, they put up that fucking shield and like, ah, you can't get me, you fucking racist. Like we're playing a game of fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! It's their fucking trap card. I summon. You've activated my trap card. Criticism shield. When you criticize my IP, I get to play this card and deflect all criticism back at you. You know, it's fucking stupid. These people are grown fucking ass adults and they can't accept the criticism that maybe they need to just stick to the fucking source material and stop trying to put diversity into it when it doesn't need to be there. If you have a book series, if you have a book that's been translated into every fucking language, it's already diverse and representative and inclusive enough. It's not like, oh, only Americans can read Lord of the Rings. Again, if you're in another country and you can read, you got access to Lord of the Rings. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't say, oh, you're a certain color, you can't read this book. So that person can already immerse themselves in that world and see themselves, because that's what people do. You know, even with certain characters, you know, you still put yourself in that world. You can still see yourself in that fucking world. You see these scenarios and these characters and you wonder what you would do in that situation. It's already inclusive enough. If you have an imagination, you could see yourself inside that world without showing it on TV. It's a small piece of a small piece of the fandom. I don't really consider them real fans who feel the need to see themselves in everything, because if they can't see themselves in it, somehow they can't relate to it. Oh my god, it's a black elf. I totally feel represented now. Like, if you need to see some black dude in Lord of the Rings to feel represented, you're a miserable fucking person. If you need to see two dudes kissing in The Witcher to feel validated, you're a miserable fucking person. So big companies, just stick to the fucking source material. You'll find that, guess what? It won't be wasting money for no reason, because Lord of the Rings, how much was it per episode? Like 60 million or some shit like that? 60 million. No one liked it. It looked nice, and that was about it. The pacing was bad. The characters were bad. 60 million an episode for that. And then they're gonna do the exact same thing for season 2. And again, when it fails, shield goes up. You're racist, you're a bigot, you're homophobe, you're this, you're that. You're everything except, you know, it's just... I wish we could just have good stuff. You know, shows being made by people who are fans of the material. You know, Doctor Who being made by fans of Doctor Who, not inserting their political bullshit. Lord of the Rings fans, this being created by actual Lord of the Rings fans who care about the lore, who already know that Lord of the Rings is diverse enough and this and that, who just want to tell a good story about the Second Age, a story that we haven't heard really much of. And again, I would love to see, the creation of the world and this and that, and then kind of go through the different, the ages. But see things that are created by the fans, because if you go on YouTube and look at like, fan made movies of like Star Wars or Star Trek or what have you, Lord of the Rings or whatever, they're usually better than the fucking big production themselves, because they're made by fans who actually know the source material, who actually respect the source material. There's one I was watching, like a Naruto one. It's really fucking good. It's really fucking good because it's made by people who understand it. They're not throwing in bullshit they don't need. They're sticking to the source material, sticking to the characters and how they act, and boom, it becomes a hit. That's all you gotta do. But no, let's keep doubling down and keep doing this bullshit, because it'll work eventually. Anyway, that's it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.